So this is about the new moon near the Mauna Kea in the Hawaiian Kingdom in continuity at the 30th of November, coming up soon. And it's going to be very fiery, very beautifully fiery, and especially here in this area because here not only is the conjunction between sun and moon in the last firehouse of Sagittarius, I call that the keeper of the sacred flame. It's the philosopher and the priest, but also is in the fifth house, and the fifth house is equivalent to Leo, which is the second fire sign. And you also have this beautiful 120-degree angle called trine in astrology language. Oh, I don't want to show you my leg here. So you have from Mars this fantastic support, and then where is it supposed to go to? All this fiery energy. We have here, we have the point of mission, medium curly, mid-heaven, 12 o'clock in the chart, yeah? Point of mission is in leadership, is in Aries, first fire sign. So we have this triangle, you see? Here it's a little bit weak, but here it's very strong. So what stands the fifth house for is self-expression, and that's the place of the artists. So now, whatever we stand for, now we stand tall and we can sing it out, we can talk it out, we can write it out, we can paint it out, and we can act it out when we do it in a nice way, but we will do it very passionately. And what it is all about, you see, we still have now in the sixth house, not in the fifth house. Fifth house is very important, but in the sixth house, we are using our intelligence also passionately, but passionately in a spiritual way, in a Sagittarius way, in a philosophical way. And what are we thinking about? Healing. What has to be healed? I mean, I'm always, like we have to, before we can heal, we have to look at wounds. Like the wounds of accepting and accepted human sacrifice. We have to look at that in our own lives, in our own cultures, everywhere. Yeah. And before we can go forward, and we have to talk about it, but it has to be made understandable. Yeah. Death is part of life, but we have to sing about it. We have to make people understand what is connected to that. Yeah. So right now it's not so much going about possessions. It is much more about the healing process, and that also, to my humble opinion, is to see where such a tiny speck of land in such a large sea of water, salt water. Salt is both very the spiritual element is salt and water, the base of life, and we are in the very middle of that. And what does the Hawaiian politics and whatever we are saying here, what we are doing here, what we are acting here, what does it have a ripple effect all around the world? So here it is about healing and understanding that Hawaii, to my opinion, it's just my opinion, is chosen to be a healing place. But we have to heal first, ourselves and each other. Yeah. So here we've been thinking a lot about this, but right now this is the mission. Before, we're thinking about like possessions and all of that. No, 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 no. Here it's about us taking a leadership position in, you see, Mars and Leo, very well positioned, likes it there, and say, hello, here comes the king, and king talks nicely with the priest, and this is what we're going to do. Yeah, we are going to be leaders, and in this way, leaders in healing the land. Remember what has been done in Kaoholawe. Forgive if I don't pronounce this properly. I'm really scared to mispronounce. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. These huge sacrifices. People have died, and the beautiful songs. They're still there, That is so powerful. What we've been doing together, our whole generation, now preparing to leave the planet pretty soon. But we're still there. And remember all this time, yeah? Now we have Pluto is in the 7th house and quite close to Venus. She'll be coming closer. So Pluto right now is just like, if Pluto was a bird, he would be just like, starting to learn how to fly. So how would he learn it? He would first from his nest try to reach a nearby branch, and then he would sit on this branch and flap his wings and look around and say, wow, I made it so far. How far can I make it next time? Now, meaning, as Pluto is just arriving in a totally new element from the ground, from Earth, into the last air sign. And the air signs is it's also for intellect, So right now Pluto isn't very powerful, it's not very connected with anything, just slightly. And Venus is nearby, and yeah, okay, Venus has this stronger connection to loving the earth in a new way. Here the last earth sign, the hardest, the harshest, the coldest, the place of authority where Venus isn't very happy there, she has to sit very stiff in a stiff corset on a stiff chair, and she's not happy there, the queen, yeah. And it's just too cold, that place, the castle. So here is the connection with Uranus in Taurus, first air sign. Whenever I think of Taurus, think of cherry blossoms, Think of the time when everybody wants to get married, yeah. So this is actually the home of Venus. There she feels at home. Yeah, that's her summer house. It's like Libra is her winter house, yeah. So there's Uranus, and Uranus tells her, just wait, let Pluto gain a little strength and confidence in his flights to see the overall situation, and from there analyze what has to be changed by us and who's going to lead. So, to my opinion, the more in Hawaii we are claiming leadership, international leadership in ecological practices, whatever we can do here, I think we should strive for that, like food forests. I just saw this fantastic video about the technology of Victor Schauberger, which I could never have had this kind of access to in Germany, because there he's considered a Nazi, but he was a fantastic scientist operating with free energy, just like Wilhelm Reich and others. Yeah, Tesla in America, but you saw in the video I saw a compare two machines of Tesla was gigantic and his was very small and very beautiful. And if you see his designs, it's so artistic, it's so beautiful. So that's why I'm very, very passionate about this right here. We're passionate that everything um, uh, he says everything that is working with nature. So I hope I remember it well. It's easy, it's quiet, and it's cheap. Yeah, so we can look for that. But this is just rambling, by the way. But this is about Mercury, thinking about how can we heal and what is supposed to be healed. Yeah, all the the earth where the motor oil has been leaking in, Puhakoloa, where all is the depleted uranium dust coming down the hill and into the drinking water and into our lungs and what have you. And more military is planned, and so a lot of healing has to be done on that level, and of course we cannot do that by ourselves. We need the international community to support us in and explaining to the world that we cannot thrive under the dictatorship, I would say, because it's not they're not here by majority vote, the USA. They're here by a coup d'etat, yeah, and not by a majority vote at all. So illegal, yeah. So sooner or later it's gonna come up. Pluto is just, we can this when this gets momentum, it will be understood. But until then, we need to connect internationally with all different kinds of striving and thriving communities, both striving and thriving. Yeah, the real revolutionary cells are just that, where really the fruits fall from the trees, striving and thriving. Okay. Yeah. Then the seventh house is important with Venus and Pluto. This is how serious are our relationships. Venus is very serious, and now she says, in a new way, Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not interested in a lover and a spouse who is putting me in a golden cage into a luxury life where I have to be complacent with all kind of depravities. Maybe I have the authority to sit very stiff and with a very stiff upper lip until there is a change in the way we are cheating and treading on earth. Like a hint, a little bit of a hint towards healing. It's very good to go bare feet. Never forget to be grounded, especially when you are surrounded by a lot of electricity and Wi-Fi and all of that. So this is just a little hint. But here it with the authority, this stiff upper lip, and in German we say high-nosed queen has to sit very stiff on a very stiff chair, and have some authority right now. That changes have to be made, and they will, just and she will come closer to Pluto very soon. So I will observe what's happening then. But this is the time, new moon always. This is when we set our intention. What really has to, uh, uh, what really has to change? Do we want to come out? Do we want to sing our songs to some kind of public and see the reaction? Can we move people's hearts? Can we move people to tears? To feel love, to feel compassion? Yeah, for all of us. Can we do that? Can we? Can we? Are we able to appeal successfully for our God-given rights without violence? By beauty? Just by reason? Is it possible? Big question. I'm going to stop right here.